Ralph Breaks the Internet, a Disney sequel. Did we need it? Is it good? Ralph and Vanellope go on a brand new adventure into the internet so that they can find a part to fix the broken Sugar Rush game. John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman are back as Ralph and Vanellope, and quite honestly, Ralph Breaks the Internet, it's a fun movie. Now, the film really runs the risk of becoming outdated very quickly because it uses items from the internet. Now, think the Emoji Movie, right? The second it came out, it was completely outdated. And so what happens within Ralph Breaks the Internet is you do get some iconic internet companies like eBay and Amazon. But then what the filmmakers did is they created a whole bunch of just fake ones that are plays off of real companies, but not the real ones. And so that way, if a company goes under, not a big deal. It's not outdated, and they don't focus too much on the other companies. eBay does come into play because the whole premise is Ralph and Vanellope are trying to buy this piece to fix Vanellope's game. They find it on eBay, and so they have to go and they get it there. Now, the whole scene plays out for a lot of laughs, but in this instance, they do use a real company, but eBay's been around for a really long time, probably not going anywhere. And even if it did go under, everybody has a really good grasp of what it is. And so it's not used as a punchline and not something just ironically. So that way it can be in there, no big deal. There are a bunch of standout scenes in the film, and one of them is the princess scene. Now, it takes place in the green room where all of the Disney princesses sit and they get ready just for the next time their website comes live, and so somebody logs in to find out, what princess am I like? And so it's really, really good. First off, they got all of the voice actors to come back and actually voice their characters from the animated series. So that was outstanding first and foremost. But then the way that they poke fun at the whole princess culture, and not making fun of the people who like the princesses, but just of the whole imagery of a princess. And oh, wait, you have to be saved by a man? Oh, you must be a princess. There's a whole lot more levels that go into that. And it's actually really, really funny and really well done. And it's smart humor. Now, the kids, sure, they'll probably laugh or they'll go, ooh, the princess, and be good to go. But the jokes are in there for the adults. Because Disney is so prolific in what it owns and all of the properties, we get to see a lot of visual Easter eggs from just all of the companies. So sure, there are Star Wars references in there. And actually, some of them are played up for some really good jokes. For me, I like the internet avatars because when anybody logs on in the real world onto the internet, their little avatar appears and they all looked like Funko Pops. They had these square heads with these big round eyes. And so me, as you can tell from behind me, I like Funkos. I'm not a massive collector, but I do enjoy them. And so that was really cool to see those. And I don't know if it was really on purpose that that's what they did, but instantly when I saw him, I thought Funko Pop. Gal Gadot makes her first voice acting appearance in Ralph Breaks the Internet. She plays Shank, who is a race car driver. She does a really good job because she is down to earth, but also has this hard edge to her, but she's not unlikable by any means. And she's not dainty either. I mean, she rides the line of just this really strong woman, and she is able to give some advice to Vanellope. There are still the dramatic moments in this so that it really adds tension to the story, but it's not over the top. Just like the humor isn't over the top humor. I mean, it's just the right amount. It's great humor. It's fun to laugh along to. It's fun to watch, and you don't feel anything that's forced. The animation is stunning, of course, as you would expect with any Disney animated film. And with the internet and all of the things that they could have shown and they could have thrown in there, I didn't really feel like it was sensory overload, which was great because I wanted to be able to focus on the things that I needed to focus on and still be able to get little visual things here and there. And that's exactly what I got. You may hate me for saying this, but I think Ralph Breaks the Internet is a better sequel than Incredibles 2 is. There are some obvious plot points in the story, but I was willing to overlook them in the grand scheme because I was enjoying what I was seeing and I was enjoying the story. And so even though you have these little bits that are obvious or that are predictable, it didn't ruin anything for me. There wasn't like some grand twist that got exposed right off the beginning or that it was super obvious of what was going to happen. It just was well told, and yes, sure, you can see some stuff coming. But again, it's an animated cartoon. I like also that the movie pokes fun at internet culture. Now, it's not actually pointing out people, but it's just talking about the fads and how instantly fads can change. They can be just rock solid of like, hey, this is the most popular thing right now, and then, oh look, well that was 15 seconds ago. That's gone. Something else is here. They also show some of the underbelly of the internet in where the comment section is. Ralph wanders into the comments area, and you can see how heartbreaking that is because he's experiencing these hateful words. Now, we all know if we've ever spent any time on the internet, we know that there are trolls out there and people just like to be mean. But I don't think that that's the mainstay of the entire internet culture. But I did like that they were pointing out and they're saying, you know what? You don't have to pay attention to that. That's more about them than it is about you. And I think anybody that's getting online, if they're putting themselves out there in any type of creative forum, that there are going to be haters out there. And sometimes you just let it roll off your back, and a lot of the time you have to ignore it. But at least they're sending this message, and they're starting with the young generation. As they're watching this, they're like, oh, okay, that is, whatever that mean comment is, it's more about that person who's saying it than it is about me who they're saying it about. Ralph Breaks the Internet is a sequel with a lot of heart and a lot of humor. There's no sex or nudity, there is not any profanity, and there's only animated violence. Also be sure that you stick around through the mid-credits scene because it is funny. I give Ralph Breaks the Internet 5 out of 5 couches. What is your favorite animated Disney film? I'd love to know in the comments below. I know that could be a tough choice too. So, maybe mull it over a little bit. Then let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.